Ignition sequence starts. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Hey everybody, this is the Digital Asset Investor, and David Schwartz has put out one interesting tweet. But before I show you that, I wanted to show you this. I forgot to mention that he had changed his profile picture on Twitter, which that looks pretty interesting, doesn't it? Gold XRPs, doesn't it? Okay, he says bridges are greater than walls. Now, the second I saw this, what it reminded me of is one time David Schwartz, I think he did a video where he was talking about how they were going to build Ripple was going to be building CBDCs on private ledgers. And one thing I remember him describing like let's say it's the central bank of, let's use for an example, Central Bank of Poland, just as an example. Central Bank of Poland would have their own walled garden, which would be on the private ledger. And then when that wall comes down is when the XRP bridge is used. That's the way I remember him describing it. So anyway, he's saying bridges are greater than walls. Thrilled to announce that this is multi-chain, previously AnySwap. Thrilled to announce that we've integrated with XRP Ledger. The integration opens the door for cross-chain interoperability between XRPL and other blockchains. Native asset XRP has been supported already, and more will be added soon. This reminded me of another tweet. CAVA, who is one of my sponsors, by the way, I'll put the link to this in the top of this description. If you don't follow CAVA, you need to, at CAVA_platform. With over 6 billion in TVL, 560K users, and 36 chains, it's no surprise that multi-chain, previously AnySwap, same one that David Schwartz just mentioned, is known as the ultimate cross-chain router protocol. As CAVA pioneers, they'll be deploying on the Ethereum co-chain soon. Stay tuned for updates. So that's CAVA's got a lot going on, and as you know, Ripple's got a lot going on. Okay. Moving along, this is Representative Bill Huizenga. Is that how you say that? The chairman of the SEC can appear in person with celebrities, but can't show up in person for meetings. The SEC should not expand its authority to enact Joe Biden's radical agenda without congressional approval. Congress must conduct oversight of the SEC and rein in this overreach. It's got a picture of Gary Gensler in person with... I'm drawing a blank on what his name is right now. But anyway, I'll think of it in a minute. And then he's got this one where he's in a video conference call doing his job. So he can't be in person to do his job, but he can be, it's John Stewart. Okay. So, and he makes a good point. That's why last year, Financial Committee ranking member Patrick McHenry and I asked for a full SEC commission in-person hearing to discuss issues important to American retail investors. So they need Gary Gensler to come out of his house. Now, John Deaton had retweeted this tweet here from Mac Attack XRP. The SEC lawsuit against Ripple Labs is making waves for the entire cryptocurrency industry. This is a Motley Fool, I believe, article. But here's a quote from it. Many legal experts that have dealt with cases in capital markets believe that the SEC's case does not carry merit. Over a year ago, many legal experts said Ripple would lose and SEC's case was very strong. Don't think for a second that XRP holders haven't had an impact. You should all pat yourselves on the back out there because it has had an impact. Bloomberg Crypto, several central banks and the Bank for International Settlements have developed prototypes for a common digital currencies platform that has the potential to make cross-border payments more efficient. Now, this is interesting, and someone brought this to my attention today. What this is, I've never seen this before, I don't think. CBDCTracker.org is the name of this website. You can literally search in various different ways, but you can, like, let's say, for instance, it says technology provider here. If we wanted to say, pull up Ripple and see what central bank digital currencies are working with Ripple in some way. The Republic of Palau and Bhutan come up. Let's pick another one. I'll get rid of Ripple. We could pick another one. Let's say Stellar. Ukraine, what do you know? National Bank of Ukraine is working with Stellar on a proof of concept. The world is full of coincidences these days. Oh, there's our old buddy Jay Clayton on CNBC this morning. Listen up.
I mean, the SEC's job is for fair and open markets. This is another attempt at, a backdoor way of allocating more capital again, or that's the way it would be used. And if so it was voted for 3-1. There's 3 Democrats. The 3 Democrats voted in favor of it. There's no way this passes muster with the court. Back in 2015, there was something similar. It wasn't nearly as nutso as this, and that didn't even pass. This is not the SEC's purview, not even in the craziest sense of the word.
And that's what Patrick McHenry and I said in the op-ed that we put in yesterday, and I think the Journal picked up on it today, which is this is a step on the way to the courthouse. And I think there's not really a rational analyst of this that doesn't see it that way. There are 2 points around authority and expertise here. One is, does the SEC have the expertise to pick the metrics and the like? Of course. Look, the people at the commission are some of the best people I've ever known. They do an incredible job, but they're not climate scientists. Okay, and then the question is, statutorily, do they have any basis on doing this? We have an EPA. There's the technical term is the major question doctrine. Right. Shouldn't this first be in the EPA? But does the EPA even have authority
it's Congress.
To set something as
pass a law?
Yeah, it's Congress.
So Jay Clayton is finally talking some kind of sense about something. Now let me show you something that I can't make sense out of. The SEC's climate change overreach. This is a Wall Street Journal op-ed with Jay Clayton and Patrick McHenry. Now, Patrick McHenry is one of the guys who's been asking about Ethereum to Gary Gensler. He's one of the guys in Congress who knows what's going on. Trust you me on that. I mean, I've copied him in on probably tens, if not hundreds of tweets, making him aware of what went on. And now he's doing op-eds with Jay Clayton in the Wall Street Journal. What in the world's going on, folks? What in the world's going on? Mr. Intuitive, Troomers Only, who is the official cool guy of the Digital Asset Investor channel, probably one of the more coveted titles on this channel, if I had to say so, sent me this. Exit the European Parliament, enter New York Assembly. The proof of work FUD is not going away. New York Assembly seeks to ban Bitcoin mining over environmental concerns. So a week or 2 ago, the European Parliament was talking like this. Now the New York Assembly is. And I wanted to point something out immediately. The Blockchain Association, who represents the entire crypto industry, according to their website, not just Bitcoin and Ethereum, they immediately pounce on this. So I decided I would make sure that we all remember, once again, the Blockchain Association is Johnny on the spot when Bitcoin is threatened, but continues to be silent on the SEC versus Ripple case and shows no support whatsoever to John Deaton, who represents 66,000 plus XRP holders. Okay? So that's the deal there. And we will continue. Look, their entire existence is going to be us calling them out as long as they're not supporting Ripple and XRP the same way they would support Bitcoin or Ethereum. And we don't see them doing it. And then there's this. Sorry, drinking some of my Diet Dr. Pepper. And by the way, I also have some Chex Mix over here, some afternoon Chex Mix. Breaking news. Cryptocurrencies are being used to evade sanctions. European Central Bank President Christine Lagarde says, and exchanges may be accomplices. Ooh, sounds scary. Now all of a sudden the crypto industry is going to be up in arms because they're threatening Bitcoin. They were nowhere to be found for the last year. Then Jack the Rippler put this out. 31 regulated Japanese cryptocurrency exchanges are going to get a green list to list 18 cryptos, including Ripple's XRP. You have to wonder if something's afoot here. Look at this, folks. This is from Grayscale. New Grayscale fund is going to focus on non-Ethereum smart contract tokens. What do they know, folks? Because why would, in this regulatory environment where everybody's afraid of the SEC coming after them for doing things like this, how does Grayscale know that it's okay to get involved in these smart contracts? It says ADA, Solana, also includes AVAX, DOT, Matic, Algo, XLM. And all of those are not on the Ethereum network, folks. What does Grayscale know about XLM and Algorand that I don't know? Because as far as I can tell, the SEC will come after you if you're doing anything involving any other digital asset besides Bitcoin and Ethereum and anything built on Ethereum. So what does Grayscale know that I don't know? That's what I want to know. Okay, then this was put out by Wheezy. I'm going to play you a little bit of it. It's kind of interesting.
Please don't regulate my banks. And by the way, if you know what's good for you, we got a position for you here in a couple of years too. That's how this game is played. So let me show you all the wonderful goodies they got for their banks. So for example, there were 64 waivers that allowed companies to avoid new regulatory examinations. You don't need no stinking examinations, so you get those waivers. 35 of them were requested by former SEC employees that now work for the banks. They secured 40 waivers that allowed offending companies to continue selling small amounts of stock without registering it. Who needs to register stock when you got friends in high places? And 16 former SEC officials helped their new private sector employers continue to provide financial services that they would have been banned from supplying. Being banned, that's for guys who can't afford to bribe the guys that used to work at the SEC. No, you guys aren't banned. And of course, the number one waivers that went most often was to the top banks, and it was to allow them to do things that they weren't normally supposed to do. And Huffington Post has a terrific story on this, and that's where a lot of these facts are from. And I want to give you a quote that they had as well about just one company, JP Morgan. Quote, since 2003, the SEC had granted exemptions to JP Morgan and its subsidiaries when they were charged with alleged misconduct relating to mortgage securities products, transactions with Enron, initial product offerings, and research analyst conflicts of interest. So all those different problems, you're exempt from all of it. Come on, you're hiring the guy from the SEC who's still friends with the other guy from the SEC who you're going to hire as soon as he leaves his job. This is sick, man. They're not doing it.
It really is sick. All right, I am not going to play this one because it's got music over it, but I really encourage you to go and watch it. I think it's been viewed quite a bit. Let's see how many views this thing has. 16,000. And I did say I'm not vouching for this. I'll actually tell you who sent this to me. My mother, of all people, she didn't send it to me. She told me about this this is one of those channels that's on some like BitChute or something. And so I have no idea. I don't know anything about who it is that's putting this out. I just thought it was interesting what they were saying against the backdrop of, they mentioned both XRP and XLM. Pretty interesting video. Now, Digital Perspectives brought something out. I want to give some proper credit here. I think that Big Skinny, who is the official smart aleck of the Digital Asset Investor channel, I believe that this is the guy who came up with this thought pattern, and I wanted to show this. He was asking about, why is nobody asking about the CFTC? And he said, Digital Perspective says, hey, John Deaton, should we be digging on the CFTC side of the fence too? It seems they've been awfully quiet for an agency that was given power by a federal judge ruling to oversee and regulate all virtual currencies as commodities. And he copies in like Jason Foster at Empower, and then some of the different researchers that are in have been looking into the SEC stuff. So I decided I would join the party, and I retweeted that. And I said, he's making a great point here. Where is CFTC Benham? That's Rostin Benham. He's the CFTC chair. Copied them in on it. I said, and the CFTC Inspector General on the Ethereum Free Pass issue, as well as Joseph Lubin helping to disguise whale purchases below video. During the Ethereum ICO, it's a commodity, right? So I think they've come out in front of Congress and said that Ethereum's a commodity. We can't get Gary Gensler to say one way or the other. So, and Gary Gensler won't even respond to 65,000 XRP holders, and he does think XRP is a security, but he won't talk to them. Gary Gensler won't do anything except stay holed up in his home. And so I figured I'll join this party, and we'll ask this Ralston Benham. I believe Ralston Benham himself said that Ethereum is a commodity, which means these guys oversee this. So we need to know why they're not looking at, why they don't have their Inspector General looking into the Ethereum ICO, okay? Because Joseph Lubin said himself, he was explaining to people how he could help hide the whale purchasers. So I put a link here to the CFTC Inspector General. If you click on that link, it'll take you here. And it says you can report misconduct by a market participant. Well, if Ethereum is a commodity and they are in charge of commodities, then Joseph Lubin and the Ethereum founders would be market participants, wouldn't they? So why are they not looking into this? And you can thank Big Skinny for that. By the way, Big Skinny has a monkey that is looking at another monkey's butt, and it says the government looking for new COVID variant, and he says it's the SEC of all things. Then Eleanor Terrett has a programming alert. We will have Jeremy Kaufman, the CEO of Library, on Fox Business at 3:45 Eastern Time. We'll be discussing the SEC's case against Library and what their fight means for the future of the crypto world. Tune in. That should be interesting. I'm the digital asset investor. I'm not an investment advisor. This is for entertainment purposes only. Please subscribe, hit the like button, tell your friends and family to go check out the CEO of Library.com, Jeffrey Kaufman, on Fox Business. Liz Clayman